Conservatives are right about everything. We're right about everything, and when we say things, we're called idiots and rubes and ignoramuses and uneducated, and then 6 months to 2 years later, we're proven right about every single thing. In this case, the stupid paper straws. Everything. We're right about the COVID vax. We're right about the lockdowns. We're right about human life and borders and the economy and all of those issues. But even down to the stupid paper straws. Do you remember when a 9-year-old in Canada had a school project where he called up some straw companies and then extrapolated the data, quote unquote, he got from a handful of straw companies out to a whole nation, and then made this claim that we're wasting a bazillion, gazillion tons of plastic every minute. And then the liberal activists decided to run with this little kid as the face of environmentalism, and then got all of the restaurants to take away our straws and force us to drink our iced coffees out of those paper things that turn to just pulp and mush within 3 sips. So you just can't drink your coffee. Remember when that happened over the last 5 years? Well, it turns out the paper straws are not safe for the environment. The whole reason we did that, they are not better at bringing your drink into your mouth. They're not more convenient. They're not cheaper. They're not any of those things. The entire reason that we did it was because a 9-year-old told us that the plastic straws were bad for the environment and that the paper straws were good for the environment. Well, the paper straws are bad for the environment. New study shows that there are toxic chemicals in there. According to this study, the straws contain poly and perfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS, which are long-lasting, potentially destructive to human health, but who cares about that? And we've got to prioritize the delta smelt over human beings these days. They're also bad for the environment. According to Dr. Timo Groffen from the University of Antwerp, straws made from plant-based materials such as paper and bamboo are often advertised as being more sustainable and eco-friendly, but the PFAS in there means that is not necessarily the case. They looked at 39 different straw brands, and it turns out that they're all pretty bad for the environment. Yeah, of course. Of course. This always happens. We're always proven right about these things. And so here's my recommendation. I've made this recommendation on the show before with regard to totally different kinds of issues. My recommendation is be normal. You should endeavor at all times in your life to be normal. This is true in your work. It's true in your private life. It's true in your relationships. It's true even in the straws you drink. How anybody could conclude that grinding up a bunch of industrial-made pulp and upending the entire beverage industry in 5 seconds is going to be good and there was going to be no consequence to that is just crazy. Just be normal. This is the consequence of rationalism in politics and people thinking that their own very small stock of reason, unfettered from tradition or eternal principles or anything else, is sufficient to remake society into a wonderful utopia. It never happens. And when it comes to the straws, nobody really cares. It's a minor inconvenience, and maybe it's slightly bad for the environment. But again, we were using plastic before, so who really cares? But this can have far more deleterious effects for human beings, as we're seeing in a very, very similar kind of study with regard to the N-95 masks that all of the experts from the liberal establishment, including conservative commentators, told us to wear for years. Turns out those aren't so great either. Right now, go to puretalk.com/Knowles. Is your cell phone in desperate need of replacement? You know the signs. Short battery life. So you've got to have a charger on hand. Cracked screen that gives you little glass splinters. Well, it's time to put that old phone to rest and upgrade to a new 5G Samsung Galaxy from Pure Talk for free. Get a free 5G Samsung Galaxy with 2-day battery life, edge-to-edge display, and ultra-strong Gorilla Glass when you sign up for Pure Talk's unlimited talk, text, and 15-gig data plan for just $35 a month. Plus, it comes with a mobile hotspot. If you are not using Pure Talk, you are simply paying too much. Get all the data you could ever need for half the price of the big carriers on America's most dependable 5G network. Go to puretalk.com/Knowles, K-N-O-W-L-E-S, for your free, super durable 5G Samsung Galaxy when you switch to Pure Talk. That is puretalk.com/Knowles. then make the switch to my cell phone company. That would be Pure Talk, the official wireless partner of the Daily Wire. Thought the straws were bad. A new study out shows that the N-95 COVID masks may expose wearers to dangerous levels of compounds that are toxic and linked to seizures and cancer. Initially, we were told that the masks, just the stupid little hankies, were going to stop you from getting COVID. Then the experts admitted that wasn't true. Then we were told, no, it's not supposed to stop you from getting COVID. Those stupid masks are supposed to stop you from spreading COVID. Then we found out that wasn't true. Then we were told, well, no, the hanky masks that you were forced to wear for a while, they don't actually do anything. But the N95 masks, those are the good ones. Even conservatives got duped by this. Said, well, look, we all know the hankies don't do much, but the N95, those are great because some other expert told me that. Turns out, no, the N95 masks are not particularly effective at stopping you from catching COVID or spreading COVID. And it turns out they're bad for you. They're bad for your health. The surgical N95 mask, which was the gold standard, has been proven to be toxic by researchers from Jeonbuk National University in South Korea. Apparently, the hanky masks are no good either. You know, I hate to say I told you so. I know a lot of you told people so with regard to the masks too, though. So the question I have is, how did we know that? How did we? I don't have a particularly advanced degree. I barely got out of 12th grade science class. I don't know anything about masks. I don't know anything about viruses. I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't have lots of fancy degrees like Mr. Dr. Fauci, who's probably going to come back to public life. How is it that I and you and your hick ignoramus hillbilly uncle Billy Bob were all much more correct about the scientific questions than all the geniuses with the advanced degrees at the NIH? How is that the case? Because we know that human beings were not made to breathe into a big hunk of plastic or cotton or any other kind of mask all the time. I think that's how we knew it. Because we knew, no matter what the advertising said, no matter what the Faucis said, that human beings are not supposed to do that. That's not what we're for. That's not what our lungs are for. Our lungs are not for exhaling into a mask or inhaling through some stupid mask. We know that's not what our faces are for. We know our ears are not for holding the mask bands on. We just know that's not normal. And because it's not normal, there's a good shot it's going to have some negative consequences for us. I think that was my thinking, at least. I didn't look at studies. I think studies are bogus. I cite them when they back up my point, but I think most social science and most surveys generally are claptrap. And you have your statistics and I have my statistics, and 152% of statistics are made up. But we at the very least know ordinary, normal people with even a modicum of common sense know that human beings are not supposed to act like weirdos all the time. And the libs just incessantly try to get us to act like weirdos as a matter of public health, in our schools, in our jobs, certainly in our sex lives. They're always pushing that. And it's just, if you have any common sense, you know, it's probably not good. Boy, what a great clip that was, huh? Now make sure that you ring the bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.